Okay, this is the unit, either 5-6 or 6-6, solving two-step inequalities. So we are going to talk about that these are exactly the same, but we have to put together the rules that we learned in the last two sections. So solving two-step inequalities are going to make you use the solving equations, but you have to do it twice because there's two equalities. So we're just going to do the try-its first. It says Erin has $52 to spend at the florist. So she wants to buy a vase for $11.75 and several, so that's an unknown, which they're calling R, for $3.50 each. What are the possible numbers of roses that Erin can buy? So she cannot spend any more than, so this means it needs to be less than or equal to 52, or more than or equal to 52. So she can spend less, but she can't spend more. So that means this sign is going to be right there. She wants to buy a vase for $11.75. So that means that's a one cost thing. It does not get the R. So I'm putting that right there. And then the roses are $3.50 each. So that shouldn't look new. We've done that with our solving equations or setting up equations. Now we just have to solve. I do love that this one is not making me fill in the boxes how they want. So I'm going to go over to the side and I'm going to solve it the way that my brain wants to solve it. I'm going to subtract the $11.75 from both sides. And if I am correct, that is 50, 25. I'm going to use my calculator because I did that in my head and I want to trust or want to check to make sure that I'm correct. So these are modeling behaviors to make sure that, yes, you know that $52 minus $11.75, but I didn't write out the borrow and carry. So yeah, see, I did have a little error. It's not 50, it's not $2, it's 40. So it's $40.25. Now I have this $3.50, so I'm going to divide by $3.50. Again, using my calculator. And it comes out really gross, so I want to double check that that is what it is. Divided by 350. Oh, okay, that's strange. Try it a third time. So $40.25 divided by $3.50 comes out even. So I'm glad I checked it twice. Well, actually, I checked it 3 times. So she can get 11.5 roses. So that means she can get, oh, it wouldn't be more than or equal to. It has to be less than or equal to. So let's fix this. I was wondering when I wrote that. 52 has to be greater than $11.50. And what clued me in is when it got to this final step, my brain started thinking, okay, she can't buy more than 11 and a half. And it didn't read that way. So that's why I did that way. And it triggered my brain. So I thought about it at the end, which is an important thing to do after every word problem. So since she can't buy half of a rose, she can buy up to 11 roses. All right, let's go to the next one. And again, it's just talking about how to set them up, which we've done with the previous ones. We're going to do a try it. At least 600. The jazz band needs to raise at least 600, so they want more than, that's the way to write it, to travel to an upcoming competition. The members of the band have already raised 300, so that doesn't change. But they are going to sell calendars for $8 each, so that means times C, the calendars. How many calendars would they need to sell in order to exceed their goal, make more than 600? So I can finish filling this in. They have $350, and the part that's going to change is the $8 times the calendars. So we're going to solve this. I'm going to put where I have space, 8C plus 350 is greater than or equal to 600. I'm going to solve by using my inverse operation, removing the addition. 250, 8c. Now I divide both sides by 8, divide by 8. I'm going to use my calculator on this one, but it's around 40, 30. So 250 divided by 8. Yep, I was close. C has to be greater than or equal to 31.25, which means if they sell 31, they have not made enough money. So they need to sell at least 32 calendars. So as you can tell, these two aren't any different. I have not had to do any division of a negative number, so I'm going to guess, woo, I was right. The next one's going to involve a negative value. I will tell you that when you're doing these for real, it's not going to say, hey, this one's negative. You've got to read it, just as why we spent 2 days practicing. So we're going to solve this inequality. 5 minus 1/2 x is greater than 30. I'm going to move the constant first, which means I'm subtracting by 5. So 25 is less than negative 1/2 x. Now I'm going to, this is a multiplication, so I'm going to divide by negative 1/2, which just means times negative 2. But some people might not, I better not write that. How do I explain that? Multiply by the reciprocal is still division. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 2 over 1. And some of us will get that, some of us will not. But technically, half is dividing it up. So we're multiplying. Yeah. Sorry that I'm making it sound complicated, but it is. Now I'm going to remember I have to flip this because I'm multiplying by a reciprocal or dividing by a reciprocal. So x is less than negative 50. Okay. The plan is we can go over these during class if we're still struggling, but the plan is for you guys to do this particular page and pull that out for homework. We will do numbers 11 and number 13 are challenge problems. So I'm going to bet that we're either going to talk about them in class today or we're going to talk about them in class once you try your homework. So that is the goal.